Well, greetings. It's been a couple of months since I've updated you, our sponsors, our friends of Uganda, on the things that are happening in Uganda. One, to make this hopefully a short video, this is what we're going to cover. The orphan family, Walter and Irene, you guys contributed money to help buy them a house. I want to report on that. What's happening in Uganda right now with the lockdown, what's happening with the schools, and our boarding section building project. First of all, I'm happy to report that 2 weeks ago, Irene and Walter and Francis and David and the twins and the others have moved in. They have taken possession of the house that you have helped purchase for them for $10,000. There's 2 rooms, a courtyard area, water tank. They have a little cooking area, and all 7 students are sponsored as well. Go ahead and hear from them.
Proud to be part of the restoration in Uganda, and we are happy for this big achievement that God has enabled us to reach. So as a family, this is our big testimony that we have our own house. We are no longer renting, and it's a blessing from God. God has answered our prayers, and actually our late mom's prayers, because she also wanted us to have at least our own house where we can stay. So we thank you, Pastor Jim, and the entire group. We want to thank our bishop.
So praise God again. Thank you so much for making that happen. I'm looking forward to going myself, God willing, getting some pictures and videos and bringing them back. But right now, the country still is on a lockdown. About the middle of June, it went on a 50-day lockdown, complete, almost everything shut down. 2 weeks ago, the president spoke, and he has extended the lockdown, and I want to report that to you, a partial lockdown. Now, first of all, I had told you in my last video that Emily and Tammy were going to be taking a trip in October for about 3 weeks to try to do ministry over there. That trip has now been postponed. We are hoping still to be able to go this next year, sometime in March. But again, the world and everything, there's a lot of things changing outside of our control, but that's still our prayer and our hope. But let me tell you, with the extended lockdown, all churches in Uganda gathering are forbidden. They're closed. So our church over there has not been able to gather since the middle of June. And all the way through September, they will not be able to gather. So they're doing their ministry online on Facebook, and they're doing what they can to help hand out food and whatever they can to help the community, to help the church members, people in school as well, to give them relief during this time as the entire country is still experiencing lockdown. It's still affecting the schools. Schools are not back. They're starting this week, but again, with the university students are meeting face to face. Some are meeting online. Of course, we don't have that capability in our schools, in our poor area of Kampala, but most of the schools are doing at-home learning until October, where they hope to bring some back and then, God willing, be full into school by January with the start of the new year. But school is going on right now, and so we're going to ask you. August is a collection month, and normally I notify you at the beginning of August. I wanted to have my facts and information before I contacted you, but if you could please send in your donations, send what you can to help your student. Most of the money is going to be going to help our staff, to keep the students in school, to pay for materials, copying, maintenance on the machine, because everything has to be done through an at-home process where the students are given materials, teachers follow up with them. The quality of education won't be nearly as good, but we're doing the best we can to educate students during this time. If there's any money left over at all, which we don't expect there to be from your tuition, with your permission, we would love to be able to help our building project for the boarding section. And that's really the biggest thing that God's doing right now. 2 months ago, I told you that we identified a problem that we had 50 students that were attending other schools, and you guys were paying so much more, almost as much for your student in day school as we pay for boarding. And so we wanted to expand our boarding section so that we could bring all those students back. And the piece of property right next to Our current boarding section and church came for sale for $35,000 for the property. We gave the owner $10,000. He allowed us to start clearing that land. And so we were able to clear that land off completely. I mean, the trees, you'll notice the trees are down. This whole section of building, all of it completely wiped out. We're taking advantage of all the land. And actually during COVID, we've had an opportunity because of the lockdown these last 6-7 weeks. Construction crews have not had a lot of work to do. So we were able to negotiate with the same hardware store, the same construction general contractor persons that built our other two major facilities, and that being our school and our church. And they began working on laying the foundation for the new boarding section. And as you can see, the steel pillars going up, which can support the building, some of the masonry work there as well. And here's the thing, our original bid that we told you about a couple months ago, we were saying about $55,000. We've now, in this opportunity, expanded the vision. We are going to, instead of building one floor with 5 rooms, we are going to build 2 floors that have up to 12 rooms. The cost is going up. Total is going to be $90,000. But again, this is going to be a huge facility that can house over probably 150 students that will be there as well. And we're taking advantage of every single square foot or of the property that we've used. We're going to put the girls downstairs, the boys upstairs, and you can see the construction is being done as we speak right now. This is what's happened. There's kind of this L-shaped, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different rooms that are each 20 by 16 rooms. And then we'll have 2 rooms that are 20 by 10. This is going upstairs and downstairs. So we're going to have a total of 12 rooms, toilets placed for the matron, the security, things like that, that will be taking care of all these students as they're going to school. We've already started laying the cement work between the first and the second floor. In fact, I think I have some videos here that I'll try to show you. This is video taken from underneath. Let me see if I can do this. I'm sorry. There we go. I'm going to turn this off here. So you can see there's going to be a hallway down here that goes into each one of the rooms. This is, again, where we're at right now in our construction. Upstairs, this is our old boarding section here. And we're going to use this to house teachers. That was the church, by the way. There's the school up there. But we're going to house teachers. Part of their salary will be they'll be given a place to live. And this is actually the showers from the old boarding section that we just built recently. But you can see that the building is huge. It's about 80 feet long. Again, it's quite a beautiful facility that is being constructed. Now, one question might be, for those of you that have been partnering with us, how come we're able to build on the boarding section land when the high school has not been built on at all? And I want to be able to answer that for you, because back almost 4 years ago, we acquired this piece of land. Some generous people donated and others loaned us the money. We're actually making our last payment to pay this off December of this year. But we're not been able to build on it. In fact, we raised $50,000 2 years ago. We completed raising $50,000 to build the first floor, and nothing's happened. You say, well, why not? We don't have the permits. We don't have the permission to build on the land. And part of it has to do with land ownership in Uganda. There are actually 2 agencies, 2 boards in the nation that handle land ownership. It's complicated, but it involves like the government board and the tribal board. And the people we bought the land from, the previous owners, they had transferred one of those, but not the others. So we're trying to get trace back families. And the previous owners before the ones that we bought from, they're actually dead. So We still own the land, we're going to build, but again, there's been a holdup between these two agencies talking to one another. So what we've done is we've said, listen, God's working in this construction project now, and we have $50,000 sitting in a bank over there that people gave for the high school, and we can't build on that. So we've contacted several of our generous donors who helped build or contribute the land towards the high school, and they have very willingly allowed us to take that money and to use it for this project. So we no longer have $50,000 in a bank over there. We only have about $25,000, and we've contributed. Right now, we have $24,000 of donations that have come in just in June and July towards this new project, and another $25,000 that we have transferred from the bank over there. So we've got about $49,000 towards this full $90,000 project right now. It's not quite everything we need, because in Uganda, when they say this is what it costs to build, they don't think of things like windows, doors. It's crazy, but that's how they work. They just build what they can, and then they say, yeah, we actually should put a floor in or paint it. There's quite a bit more costs that will be down the road, but we really don't need. Tiling is a luxury. We're probably never going to tile the floors over there. Plastering, walls, painting, again, not necessary. We probably need electricity, windows, and doors to move the kids in. So we're looking about $90,000 plus 21, somewhere in the $111,000 range to complete the entire project. And again, as of now, I received another $1,000. We're about $50,000 of the way there. And that's why we're putting this appeal out to you one more time. Some of you have the means. Some of you have been blessed. This boarding section vision, I think, is one of the greatest things we've done, because it's going to enable us to truly change lives. These kids are going to be in our schools, and our schools are still scoring extremely high on national testing. We just did a national testing with the PLE. We were the best school in the area for our academic progress. All the kids living in the boarding section will be going to our church, being discipled by our people, being raised in the Lord in a safe environment, given food, living in this beautiful new facility that, God willing, we hope to build by the end of this year. So if you have the means to give, would you please pray as to how much you might be able to help us out? You know how to do that. You send the check directly to Restoration Uganda, or email me, and we can receive an extra donation with your automatic gift. And some of you who have made generous contributions to the high school building, I might be contacting you and asking you also permission to transfer some of that money, because it's not doing any good sitting in an account over there. And this is the project that God seems to be blessing us with right now. That's about all I got for you. As always, contact me if you have questions. Email me at restorationforuganda@gmail.com. And thank you again for being a partner with us in changing lives in Uganda.